What's going on, Wolves? It's your boy, Said. In this video, I want to talk about ego a little bit. Only lately have I been starting to understand the ego more, its purpose, its function, and how we can use it to spread a good message. Now, first thing first, you've probably heard it from when you were a kid, this guy is arrogant, this girl is arrogant, they have a big ego. You've heard it all the time. If somebody is like maybe confident or something, a lot of times people will label that person as arrogant or has a big ego. And here's the thing. In like pretty much all spiritual practices and all religions, there's a big emphasis on taming your ego and dissolving it. You have to dissolve it to reach those higher transcendental, we're all one states of minds. And so things like deep states of meditation or psychedelics will do that for you right away, pretty much. Like if you go deep into meditation, or if you have take high dosages of psychedelics, your ego will just be shattered. It'll just dissolve, and then you'll realize everything is one. However, let's be clear here and let's be honest. We gotta come back here to Mother Earth, to this planet, in our ego, in our character that we incarnated into, and we've got to play the game. Alright, we've got to play the game. So what is the ego? The ego is, first of all, originally the ego is just what are my physical needs to survive. So for example, do I have shelter? Do I have a mate? Survival, reproduction. That's what it is. But some people, they have a lot of money and they have a lot of possessions, but still they live in their ego because of fear. Anytime you're living primarily from your ego, you're living in a state of fear. But if you're living from the heart, you're living in a state of love. But you need the ego to go on in this game, right? Like for example, what is my ego? What is my identification? Think of life like a video game. This character here, Said Mobayed, right? That's my character name, born and raised in Qatar, the Middle East, lives right now in the country called Canada, is wearing this necklace, is wearing this ring, is wearing this shirt, right? This is all like part of this character, right? So think of it like, this is a game, life is a video game, and we're all a bunch of characters. And that's what the ego is. Now, if you believe in incarnation, and if you do some research, even scientifically, look up Ian Stevenson. I'll make a separate video for reincarnation. We go into this video game character, play out this game, this lifetime, say you live for 50, 60 years, and then you come back out of it again, your consciousness leaves, comes back in again into a different character, incarnates into this character. Say I incarnated in a past life as a gladiator, which I'm pretty sure I was. Let's say my name was Maximus, right? So at that time, my ego identification was Maximus. And my identification was a fighter, a gladiator. In this lifetime, Said Mobayed is my identification, and I'm a YouTuber, and I make videos about fitness and personal development and consciousness. That's my ego, that's my identification, right? So here is, I know I've been rambling a lot, and you can clearly see my understanding is still developing to these ideas, and it's coming together. But I say I'll make the video anyway because it actually helps me connect the dots better. So let's bring it back in. The ego is your character, your video game character right now. When you're playing this game of life, you gotta go out, you gotta make a living, you gotta find mates, you gotta have friends, and just establish yourself as somebody, a successful game player. And that's your ego. So you actually need your ego, right? There's a lot of how can I put this? What's the word I'm looking for here? There's a lot of stigma around the ego, right? And a lot of people who get too spiritual and stuff, they say, oh no, the ego is no good, it's bad, right? But not really. You need it. And if you have a good, strong ego character, say you're someone who's successful, has a lot of money, is famous, right? Has a good foundation in this game, guess what? You're very influential. Like if you have billions of dollars, for example, you're very influential. You can start so many charities. You can donate to good causes. If you're really famous and you have a lot of influence, say, let's take someone like Russell Brand. I like Russell Brand. He's got like 12 million followers on Twitter, right? And he says a lot of good shit. Now, this is someone who's got his ego, right? Like Russell Brand, this successful character who is popular and famous and has a lot of money, has a lot of influence by default. So he actually preaches good ideas, things that help us know who we really are. And we know him by his character, by his name, Russell Brand. We know there's something deeper to him, his soul, and he's just temporarily in this character. But we know him by this character, and he's made a good show out of it. But that's beautiful, because now he's able to preach these beautiful messages, these beautiful words that are helping millions and millions of people. So don't feel bad about being egotistical, quote unquote, because you need your ego, and you need to have a strong ego. You need to have a well-developed ego, right? Like if I want to get millions of subscribers on YouTube, I have to bring my ego in and say, all right, this character, Saeed, has millions of subscribers. I need to see. That's what changing your self-image is. I'm changing my self-image to see myself as someone with 1 million subscribers. I'm just changing my ego's image, right? I need that. I need this ego, this character, to be well developed physically, mentally, spiritually, and well developed in this world, makes good living, has influence, so I can spread the message. The message is oneness, love, unity, and helping other people as well in their lives, helping other souls. Okay, so moral of the story, oh my god, I was all over the place. Moral of the story, you need your ego. Don't feel bad about being egotistical. Just remember, as long as you remember, the character you're in is not really you. It's just a temporary character you're using to express yourself, your soul, right? To express what you have to express here, deliver the message, the purpose, whatever you're here for, and then that's it. You get out of this character when its time is up, and then you move on to another character. But these characters will remain in your memory, your super conscious, your soul, right? So in a way, love the character you're in. You know, this is a movie. Life is a movie, and you're the main character. You are the main character in your own movie. So there's nothing wrong with the ego. There's nothing wrong with loving yourself, your real self, but also loving this character. Like loving the way your character looks. Like I'll tell you guys, like I love this hair, and I love the style that I have, and I think I'm a pretty good looking guy, right? I love this character. I know it's not me. I know I'm just here for whatever, when my time is over. But I love it, and it's going to remain in my memory, in my soul's memory. And if you do a really good job in the character, right, in this lifetime, then hey, your soul will remember that character with a lot of fondness. All right? And as you incarnate into this character, you pick up a lot of learning. So that's the rant that's all over the place, but somehow I feel the dots are a little more connected after I made this video. So that's it. Check out Saeed Mubayed for inspiration empowerment. Also support us on Patreon, right? You can just support with like $2 a month, honestly. Like that's all. $2 a month. If you know, we're trying to hit right now as I'm speaking, we're trying to hit the goal of $500 a month, and at this current moment it's $50 a month, so we're 10% in. Honestly guys, it would mean the world to me if you guys can pitch in. Like you can support with just $2 a month. If enough people pitch in, we can get to that $500 and then beyond, because the more funding we have, the more things we can do, right? And the more this ego, this character can have more influence, more success, so we can keep spreading this message. Love, oneness, unity, togetherness, acceptance, non-judgment. That's the message. And that's it. As always, don't forget to subscribe, or you're gonna sleep with the fishes.